Man fined 250 pounds for littering after he spat out a leaf that blew into his mouth. Just another example of just how much the government hates the citizens. It's Sunday. I'm Akorn. Welcome back to the idiocracy that is modern-day society. If you'd like to see this channel to continue, please share the videos, because YouTube certainly isn't going to. Let's jump into today's show. Men who correct women over any disagreement could face disciplinary action under new Green Party rules. Men who correct women over any disagreement could be hauled before the disciplinarians under plans being weighed up by the Green Party. Leaders are considering broadening the party's definition of misogyny to the point that any disagreement could lead to men facing sanction. The proposals are set out in a leaked 53-page dossier on legal and reputational risk prepared by its own lawyers. Yeah, the government's using the courts, media, and more all show just how much they hate men. Why? Because if there was still enough real men left, they might have attempted to stand against all the things that are taking place. We've seen this same hatred of men here in the United States for decades now, but it has vastly increased, especially in this last 10 years. Free speech has not been banned in the UK, and we will arrest anyone who says it has. Guess my destination. Final. I don't care what kind of tape this is or what it's supposed to be rated for, because this is just another example of how they couldn't care less about maintaining the safety of an aircraft. This has been more and more apparent, especially in the past few years, when you hear of major failures and crashes every couple of weeks, it seems. With landing gear falling off, engines falling off, like that UPS plane. What was that, a few weeks ago? When they were taking off from the airport and the engine fell off and the plane crashed and killed everyone on board and maybe some people on the ground, I can't remember for sure. And all of this is besides the military aircraft that's been crashing in recent months.
All right, folks, let's see the next item up for bid. It's the Epstein Files.
This being in a textbook is genuinely insane. Well, they know most kids can't read the book anyway, but they'll at least recognize the photo. Diagnostic dilemma. Man caught rabies from organ transplant after donor was scratched by skunk. A Michigan man died of rabies despite having no recent exposure to a potentially infected animal. We were told college or fail forever. Meanwhile, Steve from third period sells mulch and has a boat. Fact check true. AI bathroom monitors. Welcome to America's new surveillance high schools. It's only going to get worse. Yeah, everything that the government and the billionaires do, no matter what it is always blamed on the people. Just like all the pollution and plastic waste. Who owns the companies that's making all these things? It certainly isn't us peons. PSA. Texas woman arrested after allegedly hiding razor blades in loaves of bread and muffins at Walmart stores. Camilla Benson, 33, has been arrested and charged after allegedly hiding razor blades and food at 2 Walmart stores in Mississippi. Benson from Texas has been charged with attempted mayhem, per a Biloxi Police Department press release. The razor blades were found in a banana nut muffin and multiple loaves of bread, according to a local media outlet. Glancing at my wife after getting the purple-haired waitress during our date. At this point, I'd probably get up and walk out. Some exclusions? It's a heck of a lot more than that. And pretty soon, it won't be what you can't say, but rather what you're allowed to say. When you finally launch your startup and your first customers try to figure out your product,
Yeah.
I'm returning key. Push it in. Wait. Y'all got issues, bro. Key fell back out.
I'm pretty sure this was at a car rental place, and this isn't the first one I've seen like this. So if you do rent a car and you have to drop the keys off in their drop box or whatever, you better double check and make sure it's secure, because you'll be the one that ends up being charged if someone steals the car. Leave a tip. Not optional. It's rude not to. And it starts out at 30%. I'd hit custom tip and hit 0, or just cancel the whole transaction. Texas sues 5 TV manufacturers for secretly spying on owners. I've said this many times on past shows. We have 0 privacy. If you don't think that your TV, your computer, and especially your cell phone isn't monitoring you 24/7 in pretty much every aspect of life, not just what it can see or hear, where you go, what you say, what you text, and everything else, just smartphones alone are the absolute perfect surveillance device that everyone willingly carries with them. I mean, it's far worse than 1984 already, and most people haven't noticed. If people think that they actually have any privacy, they're kidding themselves. And the award to Best Resignation goes to, that is a pretty good one. 130 million Americans read and comprehend at the 5th grade level. The American National Adult Literacy Statistics are out from the year 2023, and results are absolutely terrifying. At least 45 million American adults, ages 16 to 74, are functionally illiterate, reading and comprehending below a 5th grade level. So you have 130 million people that can read or comprehend at a 5th grade level, and you have at least 45 million that are below a 5th grade level. Yeah, because slaves are not allowed to read or write. Weird green light came on. Should I be concerned? Well, you're in a BMW, so it certainly can't be a turn signal. But since it is a green light, it must be telling you not to pay attention to anything that's around you and just floor it. Saying I identify as is the same as saying I pretend to be. Absolutely. That magical time of year when Piers Morgan has to go into full denial mode.
I think that fat people should have to pay for 2 plane tickets.
No, just instead of flying, they should probably save the money and go to the gym.
Lawyer sues the IRS, demanding it recognize pets as legal dependents. I completely agree with this. We should be able to claim them as dependents. For one, I've got 2 dogs, and they are expensive to take care of. And 2, the government already screws us over with taxes in every way possible. So yeah, I support anything that reduces government theft. When you realize that therapy is just paying to talk to a liberal until you agree with them. Man arrested after trying to fight cousin for swapping real turkey with vegan substitute. I'm not saying he was right or wrong. All I'm saying is I understand. I'll say it. He was absolutely right. Right here is another example of women who don't need no man.
So I'm just sitting in the truck in the doctor's office parking lot waiting to go in. You know, about 5 years ago, I probably would have got out to help. They don't need no man. I've also been sitting here for about 25 minutes, and they've been doing it for about 25 minutes.
Man mistakes hunting buddy for deer. Shoots him during hunt in South Carolina, officials say. Can't blame him based on that photo. You want to know how expensive things are getting here? Listen to this. It is now cheaper to fly to Japan, go to Tokyo Disney, get a hotel, and fly back than to go to Disney in Florida. Nobody needs to be going there anyway, especially these days. Here's another sign of the times. Imagine being a decent, stable, educated man with his life in order, getting 0 matches on every dating app, watching thousands of women throw themselves at a broke, mentally unstable double murderer. At some point, you have to stop pretending modern women value good men. Yeah, just another reason why men today are fed up with modern women, and they're just walking away because they're not playing their games anymore. Men are tired of taking all the risk because men take all the risk and there is no upside to taking that risk. Because men lose everything they have, including their job and reputation, every time a woman has a mood swing. On top of the fact that modern women just want to use men like they're an ATM. Here's another entitled modern woman who can do anything they want. And the fact is, if this man wasn't recording all of this, and if he had unplugged his own charger from the car or touched her car in any way, you know he would have been arrested and charged with who knows what.
Hi, how are you? Oh no, thanks. I'm just charging my car. Are you recording me right now? Is that why your phone's up like that?
I am recording you because you're on my property, and I'm sorry that your car is about to die, but...
Okay, so you have to stop recording me and stop recording my plates. My husband is an attorney, so you're not going to put this video anywhere, so I'm not sure what you're doing with your phone. I'll be done in like 20 minutes. It's really not that big of a deal. Can you back away from my car, please?
You're in my driveway.
I understand that, but can you back away from my car, please? It worked just fine.
I didn't even know.
Back yourself. I'm not putting it back either.
Alright.
Hollywood's solution to fight online piracy. Make movies so bad, no one wants to watch them, even for free. The media and news. Humanoid robots for war and work. Startup plans to build 50,000 by the end of 2027. Terminators are coming, guys. The only difference is they will still be controlled by the powers at the top. Here's a PSA warning, guys. Better be careful anytime you're using your card, because in at least some instances, the people that's working in these places are installing card skimmers onto the machines, and it's very difficult to tell.
You're gonna pay for that. Sir, don't do that. Don't do that, okay? Don't do that. Why? What happened?
This is a skimmer.
Wait, is it like...
You can kind of see the shit.
$20 $20
Yeah.
Why are you holding it down so hard? Look. It's literally a scanner. We could call the police right now. Look, this is the real one.
Just did it again. That's fucking crazy. I'm not gonna pay card.
This one is the overlay that captures your data when you type in your button for your PIN number.
Yeah, be careful, y'all. Look. Look. You see that shit?
I hope her daughter one day realizes just how much her mother hates. Judge delays decision on signatures for Missouri referendum on gerrymandered map. Yeah, the Republicans back some time ago started pushing to redraw the lines of the voting districts. And there's a number of other states that's doing this as well, but I guarantee you at the end of all this, it will be used as the excuse for why the leftists were able to retake states that has mostly been conservative for decades. Trump designates street fentanyl as a weapon of mass destruction. escalating militarization of the drug war. Yeah, another war on drugs. Except this time it's also being used as an excuse to go to war with more countries.
Okay, tell me an interesting fact.
Do you know why a gas light comes on in a car?
Okay. Sure, go ahead. Tell me.
It's because it's a lie. Because if your car is giving you a gas light and it's telling you, hey, we're about to run out of gas, and you still driving and you hit 0 miles, that bitch ain't gonna stop on you. So it's really just a form of manipulation. That's a fun fact.
Wait, what?
It's true.
Tell me you're
It's
joking.
true.
Right?
No, it's dead ass
I ain't gonna
because
lie.
it's happened to me before.
All right, my shit.
David's bridal laying off over 9,000 workers. Another example of just how many men are leaving the scene because they're tired of all the games and losing everything they have. That is a fact check true. This video here is of a so-called judge in the Netherlands who made a ruling against a driver going at a high rate of speed and crashed. After she gives this so-called sentence, there's a man in the courtroom who tries to throw a chair toward the judge, who is then very quickly tackled by security. But what isn't in this particular clip, at least, is that this driver hit and killed this man's 2-year-old daughter and both of her grandparents. And what was his sentence? 120 hours of community service. Take a listen.
Based on the foregoing and considering the penalties usually imposed for similar cases, the court is of the opinion that Verbaarten should be given an unconditional community service for the duration of 120 hours sub judice per data hecticus.
After this sentence was given, because of how much publicity and outrage this gained from social media and etc., because you know the news media wasn't going to say anything, they eventually upgraded his sentence and he got a whole 15 months in prison and a 4-year driving ban. This is what passes for justice these days. Life isn't worth anything to the courts, the governments, or anyone else in these positions of power. Working Americans will soon get very large refunds of up to $2,000 per household. I've seen a few articles concerning this. I don't know if it's supposed to be a tax refund or what, but regardless if it's a tax refund or a stimulus check or whatever, it will still be used as another excuse for inflation. When you voted to raise taxes on the rich, but now everything costs more money. That's because the people who are actually rich don't hardly pay any taxes. These days, the people that's classified as being rich might make $100,000 a year, maybe, which used to actually mean something. But these days, you'll be lucky to find a 3-bedroom house for $1 million. Here's a video of the first completed flight of this all-female 7-person crew, and it goes exactly as you would expect. New York is the 8th state found to have improperly issued commercial driver's license to immigrants. As if this is supposed to be some sort of surprise? Ready for our first deep-fried turkey. Well, I hope you had home insurance.
Notice of this cabbage here. Now this cabbage is on fire. Now take notice. It's not even burnt. See that? See that? Shiny. Look at us. Better be careful what you eat. Take notice. Take notice. Robbery. All you brothers and sisters out there love cabbage like I love cabbage. You better check this stuff out.
In case you are wondering, politicians will send you to die in a war for the sake of their poll numbers, and a lot less. Here's another example where instead of finding actual criminals, this teenager was charged with vandalism because he put googly eyes on this statue. And I have to agree with the news crew here. It looks a lot better that way.
A teenager charged over vandalism to Mount Gambier's cast-in-blue statue has gone viral online. The 19-year-old was arrested for allegedly sticking 2 googly eyes on the sculpture after council made a police report. Social media posts on the incident have gathered millions of views, with most asking if this was an appropriate use of council's time. You shouldn't be getting in trouble. This is creative.
That's an award win, that is.
Exactly.
That looks so much better.
It does. It's an improvement.
Have a look at it. Have a look at it.
His little face.
Looks a bit like Sean Maloney, actually.
I've never been to Mount Gambier. I've never been to Mount Gambier. But now that's the first place in Oz I want to get to.
Put that on a postcard. You're crying.
What was that? We should road trip to Mount Gambier.
We should do the show live from that statue. I've only got one show left, so no.
Don't say that. Don't do that.
We need a split screen comparing you to the statue.
My parents in their 20s. I should move to the city for my children to have a better life. Me today. We need to get out of this degenerate place. That is for certain. I'm gonna end today's show with this just because I thought one line in here was pretty funny. Cow has 4 calves in 1 in 11 million birth. A dairy cow giving birth to extremely rare quadruplet calves has been described as unheard of by farm staff. The bull and 3 heifers arrived fit and healthy at Cow Court Farms. The chance of a quadruple pregnancy in cattle is said to be 1 in 700,000, with the chance of them all being born alive just 1 in 11 million. This is once in a career, probably lifetime experience, said Matthew Hicks, the farm's fertility manager. We knew she was carrying twins, but when it all happened, I was wondering what was actually going on. It's unheard of. I'd been at the pub, and it is quite common for me to come home seeing double. But on that evening, I definitely hadn't drunk enough. One final note here before I go. Last week I mentioned that the impressions that YouTube has been giving my videos, which is to say the number of times that a video is shown on your YouTube homepage or the side list, it's only about 20% of what it was just back in February or March. For those who don't know, most channels make at least 1/3 of their yearly income from ads just during November and December alone. However, this year, not only was the summer months way down, but November and December have been even worse. Even during the summer, I was averaging about 1,000 new subscribers every month, and last November I gained about 7,000 subscribers. However, this past November, last month, I only gained just over 100 subscribers because apparently the videos are not being shown to new viewers, or at least not very many. And even many of my current subscribers are not seeing the videos when I publish them, as some of you have told me in the comments about searching for my channel because you hadn't seen any new videos in a while, and you found that there was multiple new episodes that you'd never seen. There are many channels that's been talking about this. It's not just mine. A good number of them has been large channels. I've also read that apparently YouTube straight up deleted 21 million channels just during this past November alone. There has even been some lawsuits against YouTube from channel owners, and I heard about one where apparently the channel owner won the case in court, but YouTube has allegedly basically decided to ignore the court's order and still won't reinstate the channel. On top of this, like I've stated in past months, YouTube is moving from content created by actual people, especially individuals rather than companies, and they are moving toward and pushing AI content made by big studios, the vast majority of which are overseas in China, India, and elsewhere. I've even seen some footage of a couple of these places, and they have entire crews of people who are making dozens or even hundreds of channels and are flooding the platform with AI slop content every day. And then just multiply that by who knows how many of these huge studios that is doing this. And channels like mine and many others are being pushed out. So if you like the content here, and even on other channels that you enjoy and would like to see us continue, please share the videos, because YouTube isn't. And maybe subscribe if you haven't already. And if you are subscribed, you might want to make sure that you're still subscribed, because somehow there's been a number of people reporting how they were unknowingly unsubscribed from channels, including some of you who have told me the same thing in the comments and even in emails. So please subscribe, hit that like, and share the videos. But that's it for today's show. I'll see you guys back here on next week's show. Until then, I thank you all for watching. You guys take care and stay safe this week. This is Akorn, over and out. These two kids may never be able to hunt again after this.